To regain thirst, you just need to swim. I'm drinking...
Hello.
Well, I wanted to cut to gameplay here, but it's been a good number of years since I first got this calculator, and yeah, we are just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Before we get started on the real meat and potatoes of this video, I think it's kind of worth taking a look at some of the other, maybe less complicated, less refined projects. If I was to sum up my experiences with these games, I would say that Breakout is your standard Breakout, but with even jankier physics than usual, and Tetris is just like your usual Tetris, just a little rough around the edges. And while it's really cool that people went through the effort to recreate these games for bored students like myself, they've kinda lost their purpose when we have phones that can play these games and so much more now. There's also a pretty annoying issue plaguing both of them. Neither of these control well, attributed mostly to the fact that your only control options are a mushy D-pad that misinputs frequently, or a complete computer keyboard that is in alphabetical order, so neither option is entirely ideal. So if games as simple as Tetris and Breakout are this frustrating to play, how would you even begin with something as complex as Minecraft? Too long didn't watch. It's pretty cool, but that's about as far as I would go with it. This is the trailer for the port of Minecraft on the Xbox 360. This is how I and many other people first got to play and enjoy this game. Much like the version of the game I'm going to introduce you to today, the 360 version was a rough, incomplete, strange incarnation of Minecraft, but it was charming and wonderful all the same, and made me and an entire generation of children enthusiastic about the future of video games. Well, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. This game might not have been quite as impactful on quite as many people, but it's still pretty impressive what this guy was able to do with 64 total megabytes of RAM. I mean, watch this. Watch this. This is on a calculator. How did he do this? While I rifle through the settings and read up on the controls in the background, I'll give you everything I know about the person that made this game. Jens Kolbinger appears to have been either the name of someone who developed games independently for the TI Nspire series of calculators, or the online alias of someone that did that. On his author profile on ticalc.org, a website used for sharing software and information about the TI calculators, he has 4 known credits, among these being our object of interest for today, Minecraft 2D. Since his work on these games, it appears that his name is faded into relative ambiguity online. Most other references of a Jens Kolbinger lead to dated websites in German, and most searches relating to both the name Jens and a program Minecraft are associated with the currently designer of the official Minecraft game, Jens Bergensten. While Jens Kolbinger's name may have been lost in the vastness of the internet over time, I'm hoping what I will show you will at least help to preserve his work. So here it is. Primitive as it may appear, this is Minecraft. The UI, the character model, the mobs, they're all here and all fit into a calculator initially released almost a decade ago. As silly as this looks here, there's even fall damage implemented into the physics system. Food items, light levels, and ores are all available in varying levels of accuracy, but they're all here. It might be missing some things like sound, a third dimension of play, or perfect game balance like being able to retrieve your items on death instead of having some of them disappear at random, but some sacrifices were inevitable. But because of those sacrifices, among other issues, this is where I'm going to put my compliments on pause for now. So at this time, I finally get to tear into how annoying this game is to actually play. Regardless of how cool it may ever be, much like the Tetris and Breakout clones I shared with you earlier, this controls badly, and that problem is emphasized significantly with the actions necessary for a Minecraft-inspired game. Combat exists, but is almost entirely impossible to enjoy since knockback is non-existent, and the only fast option for aiming around the screen involves using the D-pad as a cursor. However, this also temporarily deactivates the D-pad as your method of movement, locking you in place so you can get pummeled by a zombie or blown up by a creeper. Keen eyes might have already seen this happen to me earlier when I was mining iron. The distribution of materials is also much more strict than your usual Minecraft game. Only a few blocks of wood spawn per tree, making farming for planks for your tools and the like extremely difficult and tedious. Additionally, since this isn't a 2D plane, vertical movement is much more essential than before. Ladders are thankfully available, but with such scarce supplies of wood, they are unfortunately limited to the player, making deeper exploration much more of a chore. Crafting stations, chests, and beds will have to be placed in the ground or above your head in your abode, since they take up your walkable space if placed in line with your character. If you do decide to put them in that character's path, you would have to jump over them every time you pass through, which can get awkward, given the nature of the calculator's D-pad to misregister rapid jump inputs as other assorted nonsense. These minor frustrations can build up to be incredibly irritating the more you play, and it isn't made any better when your claw-like control gesture on the calculator starts to make your hands cramp up with longer sessions. So as for me, I decided to drop the game after a night or two successfully survived in a mountain hole. But I felt that I should at least show a few more things that this game did really well before writing it off back into a dusty closet for the next few years, once again. For one, there is a creative mode. It lets you fly, pick blocks and items, and transfer back to survival at the press of a button. I built the small house here and planned to set it on fire with flint and steel, but ended up getting that happen to me naturally when the flowing lava I had placed down earlier unexpectedly caught the edge of it on fire before I was even done. The actual non-burned finished product looks like this. Nothing mind-blowing, but for the hardware this machine is packing, I think my creation was made exceptionally. I decided to cap it off by testing if the armor actually appeared on your character, which as you can see it did, and then ran at a creeper to test my newfound superhuman durability, to which I found was mildly less superhuman and much more good. Which is what I think this game kind of deserves in the end. A good. Jens's Minecraft 2D was made for a niche audience. The TI Nspire CX was powerful compared to its elderly calculator brethren, but it isn't a beast of machine. TI didn't include a ton of onboard storage, meaning outside programs would have to be small in size when loaded in, and the 64 megabytes of RAM would bottleneck many more ambitious applications. But developers like Jens Kolbinger worked around this and kept creating anyways, likely for a silent, minuscule audience that would rapidly fade in size within just a few years of its inception. These were people passionate about their work, and regardless of how strange or annoying or broken anything here is, there is a certain level of magic that exists with these programs. I can only hope that Kolbinger and any other devs from this generation were able to succeed in their passions, whatever they may now be. Calling those so wholly dedicated to their craft as these a special existence would discredit how great and interesting they as individuals may have been, and I believe that if they were given the opportunity to work in today's more seasoned online world, they would find incredible success. They were just far too ahead of their time. Hey, hi, thanks for watching. This was a bit of a weird video for me. I mainly wanted to get it out after watching Phoenix SC's video on that Minecraft knockoff and was reminded that this calculator app existed. So I thought that this would be a good chance to teach myself about the process of scripting and recording voice for videos. I've got some other ideas I've been thinking of for videos, but haven't decided what it is I'll work on just yet. Anyways, thank you again, like, subscribe, or share, or whatever you feel like doing, and I will make something interesting again when I feel like it. See ya.